Greetings, friends. Rabbi Barry Silver has asked for me to make a brief video expressing interfaith solidarity in this particular time of health crisis. And I think my reflections may be of interest to others as we think about this being Shabbat, a time of rest in our busy world. Even though we may call a day of the week Shabbat, but we're usually busy running around and we don't give our bodies and souls much time to rest. And so this is, in a sense, a time of enforced rest, and how do we use it in a beneficial way for the restoration of body and soul? That's good questions to contemplate as we have the time to do that. I was looking up on Google the origin of the term quarantine, and it turns out that it has an Italian origin, meaning the little 40 days. And it comes from a time when international trade was centered in Venice, Italy, and when there were plagues, the incoming ships had to anchor off for 40 days of quarantine before they were allowed to come into port. So you can imagine being on a small medieval ship in cramped space and just lying at anchor for 40 days gave people a lot of time to think and to do things in quiet and exercise patience and deal with that particular situation. So what can we learn from that? We need rest in this world. It's one of the great gifts of the Jewish people to the world, of having a Shabbat, and we maybe have skipped some of our Shabbats in our busy world. Reminds me a little bit of the statement in the Tanakh about how the land needed to pay off its Sabbaths, and so the exile to Babylon was a way of enforcing rest upon the land, and maybe we're in a similar situation today. So as I identify as a Jewish Christian Baha'i, in the Baha'i faith, we recognize the gifts of all of the prophets to mankind, and maybe Shabbat is one of the great gifts of Moses and the Jewish people to humanity. Baha'u'llah taught that the well-being of humanity, the peace and justice of the world cannot be established until its unity is firmly established, and that Earth is one country and humanity its citizens. And you can see from the t-shirt I'm wearing, no political borders. Certainly this disease knows no borders. We are one people on one planet, and we are going to have to learn how to live together on this planet and resolve our differences and respect one another for our different beliefs and customs and so forth, and to have a solidarity where we all look after the well-being of each other. So as we go into continuing on these days of enforced rest, our prolonged 40-day Shabbat or longer, may we make a good use of it for our growth, for building a community via the technology that we have, and blessings and peace, safety, and health be with you, your family, our community, and the world. Shalom Aleichem.